We were farmers' kids, but the irony was, even at our own home and our families, no one encouraged us to do farming.
When we got down to farming, we had no credentials in agriculture. We were not BSc or MSc Agri students. So we took to farming afresh.
The world is going in a certain direction. They are going against it. They won't be successful in it. They will not make money. They'll sell their land and go back to the cities. Hi, my name is Satyajit,
And my name is Ajinkya.
and we are the co-founding farmers of Two Brothers Organic Farms. Well, initially we did whatever society expected us to do. Having grown up in a farmer's family in a village, we took education in a city. After education, we did a job in a city. We worked for banks like Citibank and HSBC for over 10 years. Ticked all those boxes that society expected us and the family expected us to do. But there was some kind of vacuum. There was some kind of space that was not being filled by what we were doing. And this urge led us to think about what we would love to do. And we thought and arrived at farming being our area of interest and passion, and decided to leave a job in the city and come back to the village and do farming. Fortunately for us, while we were growing up and small, we were in the village and on the farm, and we had experienced that life. So we came back to the farm and decided to pursue farming as a career, and do whatever we had to do and fulfill whatever dreams we had to fulfill through farming itself. We were farmers' kids, but the irony was, even at our own home and our families, no one encouraged us to do farming. The opinions were, farming is not profitable. Farming is not socially acceptable or even rewarding in terms of social respect and stuff. Yet we stuck to what we loved doing, followed our hearts, and came back and started farming. When we came into the farming landscape and the village, people were commenting that, what new are they going to do? What is this organic farming? The world is going in a certain direction. They are going against it. They won't be successful in it. They will not make money. They'll sell their land and go back to the cities. All these comments started coming. But somehow we, drowned those and kept true to our hearts and pursued farming. So the initial 3 years we faced losses. We were experimenting, learning farming, doing something new in farming, and that meant a lot of risk, and we faced losses. I remember initially we had planted papayas, and we had grown these papayas organically, and they tasted amazing. They tasted like jaggery when you ate them, but from the outside they were ugly, because as you know, organic is ugly. And we took it to the mandi, the market committees, to sell it, and our experience was bitter.
In conventional farming, the objective is to increase production, and it's also on the choice of your crop to take more commercial crops. When we started, even we went along with the conventional farming. We thought taking a more commercial crop was a solution. So from doing sugarcane, we tried bananas. From bananas, we tried pomegranates, and so on. But a couple of years into doing farming, we understood that the crop was not the solution, or increasing productivity was not the solution. And over a long period of time, what made sense was fertile soils. If you increase the fertility of your soils, automatically whatever crop you grow on it is bound to be of a good nutritional value, good medicinal value. If your soil is fertile, automatically whatever crop grows on it is bound to be of a good quality. And hence, our journey with organic farming started by course correction from conventional farming to natural organic ways of farming. And step number one in that direction was getting cows on the farm, indigenous cows, and using their manure, the cow dung and cow urine, for increasing the fertility of the soil, for increasing the bacteria and different kinds of microorganisms. With this, we also understood that intercropping or planting many crops in 1 acre and not going for monocropping was a solution. So we switched our practices from monocropping to doing a lot of intercropping, to doing 14-15 types of crops in 1 acre of land. To this, we also understood the importance of mulch, of carbon, of organic matter, and started whatever organic matter that we had, that is dried leaves, twigs, branches, putting it back into the soil. So I would say there were 4 pillars that we learned of farming and course corrected ourselves. First was using the indigenous cows, cow dung, cow urine, a lot of mulching, a lot of intercropping, and the most important one was using traditional heirloom variety of seeds. So whatever we growing is of an indigenous seed variety. If it is wheat, we are growing emmer or khapli wheat. If it is lemons, we are growing the kagzi limbo variety. If it is groundnuts, we are growing the gungru shengdana. So not growing anything that is modern variety, hybrid variety, and moving the seeds to the old traditional heirloom variety. So these 4 practices kind of sum what we do at the farms. How did we empower farmers? I think it happened just by the side. So farmers, a lot of farmers visit us, and one thing we always share with them is this example. As a farmer and doing organic farming, it's like riding a bicycle. Your one pedal has got to be on farming and the other pedal has got to be on marketing. So to be sustainable economically doing farming, you will have to have both these systems running parallel. Otherwise your cycle will topple over, and if not, if you keep doing both these things, it will keep balanced and walking forward. So yeah, the importance of marketing is what we share with farmers. I think in the past 7-8 years, we've had close to 9,000 farmers visit the farms, not only from India, but we've had farmers from 14-15 countries. And the best way to help them is showing them how you're doing it, showing them how you've overcome the problems, how we faced all these obstacles along our way, and the different solutions we came up with. It could be finding ways to fight pest disease, insect disease, bacterial attacks, nature challenges, or it could be the market challenges, not getting a good rate of the market. So all of this, practically how we did it, how we walked through it, we keep sharing all this with them. And the farm is open. Farmers can come, visit, interact, learn. That's where we come from, the community of farmers.
It's very important that a farmer creates some value add for his products and processes his products as far as possible. Processing the raw farm produce is very important, and in the least machinery intensive way as possible. For example, we make our ghee from the milk. Now fresh milk is converted to ghee the traditional way, doesn't require any machinery as such. Sugarcane is converted to jaggery, again the traditional way. We have been making sugarcane from the last 5 generations. Very simple setup. Peanut butter from our peanuts, wood pressed oil from the oil seeds that we grow, lemon pickles from the lemons that we produce. So when you manage to convert some fresh produce to a processed product, it gives you value and it gives you a shelf life, and your product can last over 6 months, and you can sell it through various channels like online, marketplaces and offline. So processing, I feel, is very important. Today, parents and our elders' concerns are about their children, and when they ask their children, where does food come from? Children think food comes from supermarkets and shiny packets. The real source of food is not known to children. We do a lot of research when it comes to buying our other stuff that we consume or use daily. Like, while buying a car, we'll do research. While buying our clothes, we'll do research. And we'll read online blogs and comparisons and testimonials and word of mouth, and there's so much of stuff that we do. But when it comes to food, are we really doing research to understand where our food comes from, in what environment has it been grown, what is the impact on the climate and the environment of the food that's been grown? Is it really good for our health? Is it nutritious and stuff? So that, I'm afraid, is not being done nowadays. Food that makes us up, that food that nourishes us from inside. All of you all know that in a year's time, every cell of our body is replenished or reconstituted and the major source of this is the food we eat. So how aware or conscious are we of the impact that food has on who we are and how we are? So Two Brothers is connecting those two dots which are right now disconnected. Consumers do not know anything about the food that makes them and the food that they consume. Farmers do not know their consumer, and they're not really conscious about practicing the right kind of farming because no one values it at the front end. So Two Brothers is that platform which is empowering both these stakeholders and I would say creating a more sustainable world. So today we operate from a small village. We operate in the rural landscape. 90% of our workforce are rural women and men who are based in the village, and we have ensured that they get the salary that they would receive in a city. They get all these social benefits that ideally they would have got in a large corporation working in the city. We want them to live in the village. We want them to be connected to their roots, to their culture, to their tradition. Migration disconnects a person from all these aspects. And at Two Brothers, we're empowering people to keep to their culture, tradition, and also, take the benefits of economic prosperity. Apart from the women and the people who work in the farm, we are also kind of employing these people, training them, upskilling them to work in the small, factory, the mega kitchen that we call it at the Indapur MIDC. And these skilled people are all again from the villages nearby the farms and nearby the factory. So it's not only about producing good food and selling good food. The between that happens when you're doing this is, developing a conscious society. On our part, we have consciously given all the workers, irrespective of their qualification, a stake in Two Brothers. They're legally owners, they're shareholders, creating long-term wealth. As the brand grows, as the company grows, they make wealth for themselves. They are literally on a capital table, so as to say it. That apart, we work with many schools and institutions across India. We regularly lecture at management institutions in Pune. We've also lectured at the IIM Ahmedabad, where we're trying to teach and tell students that nowadays businesses need to think sustainably, and there is a lot of wealth to be created if you do your business consciously and sustainably, rather than just depleting the earth of its resources and creating a business empire. We also work with schools at the very nascent stage. For example, we work with the Bishop School in Pune, where we have established organic farming clubs, and we kind of help students to teach them to farm organically on the school campuses, on how to grow food instead of aesthetic plants on school campuses. We also work with students at the Polymath International School in Mumbai, where we're teaching them how to farm organically by establishing organic farming clubs, and also by creating yearly events around sustainability and organic farming. So, as a matter of fact, we realize that it's not only about growing the business or selling food, it's about creating a conscious and a sustainable society wherever you go, and everything is connected in this world. So, very conscious of our footprint in every aspect, and helping develop communities across stages of society. So this kind of farming that we practice at Two Brothers Organic Farms would be best classified as regenerative organic farming. We're not only taking something from the soil, but we're regenerating the soil to make it more fertile and more carbon rich than it was earlier. It all starts from the seed. The kind of seed that we use are native, desi, heirloom variety of seeds. Seeds that are not bought from large corporations, but that have been preserved across generations by our farmer families. They have been accustomed to this climate, they are pest resistant, they are drought resistant, and they are more nutritious. And this is all scientifically tested. We use the cow dung and cow manure of our cows. We make compost of their cow dung, and this is then made into manure and put in the farm. Then we practice mulching, that is the spreading of dried leaves, twigs, branches, prunings, cuttings nothing is burned on the farm. Everything is mulched on the ground. It helps prevent water loss, evaporation, and also compost and gets back into the soil and makes the soil rich. This kind of farming that we do also harvests a lot of carbon dioxide from the environment. It helps in reducing global warming. Soil is the largest sink of carbon, and perennial regenerative organic farming ensures that a lot of this carbon dioxide is harvested in the soil, thereby reducing the amount of these gases in the atmosphere and reducing global warming. So I would say that this is a profession or a practice that can help society solve many problems on the larger context and on the smaller context that we are facing in today's era. So if you have loved what we do and you sync with the idea and the way we're tackling this problem of farming and environment and good food, do sync up with us. We love crowdsourcing ideas and suggestions. It's an open network of ideas and free-flowing thoughts and stuff. So guys, do sync up with us. Follow us on our Instagram channels, on our YouTube channel. We're looking forward to hearing from you all in messages and comments. Thank you.
Thank you.